Hello everyone, this video will be about DaVinci Resolve 17.4. Now I made a video quite a while ago about my history with DaVinci Resolve, and so this is just a continuation of that saga. Now before I get too much farther, I just want to say that nowadays I mostly shoot videos on my iPhone, and I like to edit on my iPhone or my iPad. I like shooting and editing on iOS devices because it is such a frictionless process, to shoot and then immediately be able to edit, or be able to wirelessly airdrop to my iPad and then start editing right away. And the main thing that I really enjoy about editing on iOS is that it natively supports H.265 encoding. So it not only records in H.265, it's able to edit and export in H.265 without breaking a sweat. My guess is that all of this stuff is hardware accelerated, and so it's really effortless for iOS devices to edit those kind of files. In contrast, if I were to edit on my computer, even though it's a very beefy gaming computer, I don't think it has a very efficient H.265 media encoder decoder, and so it kind of chugs. I can hear the fans whirring up on my laptop. It gets hot. Sometimes it can stutter, and then even outputting or exporting files can take a little while. And so that's one of the main reasons why I enjoy shooting and editing on iOS devices. Of course, exporting in H.265 means much smaller files as well, which is good if you are doing YouTube and producing a bunch of content. You don't want to be just filling up hard drives. And of course, another major reason why I enjoy doing video editing on my iPhone and iPad is because I can just sit back on the couch and just hold this thing like this and edit on the couch, in bed. I can turn it on and turn it off real quick. Whereas editing on the computer means I have to sit at a desk. So with all of that out of the way, I want to go back and talk about DaVinci Resolve 17.4. So up till now, I've been using DaVinci 16 because, frankly, it does everything I need it to do, and my video editing needs are pretty minor, and so I didn't really see a reason to upgrade. With these updates, you tend to have to also update your database files, and I don't know what that means. Maybe it'll corrupt some of my projects, I don't know, but I have a bunch of open projects right now that I can't risk, and so I've been putting off updating to 17. Well, lately I discovered that with the 17.4 update, it may well be just a 17 update, but I only caught on with DaVinci Resolve 17.4. I found out that the free version now supports hardware H.265 encoding, which is super exciting for all the reasons that I just said about editing on iOS devices. I want to have the smaller file sizes, and I want it to be able to encode quickly. So I recently upgraded to DaVinci 17.4, and I tried it, and I wanted to tell you about my findings because this kind of threw me for a loop. So as you can see, I rendered this 11-minute project in H.264 as a test, and you can see that it finished in 18 minutes and 15 seconds. This is my usual workflow. That's how long it would usually take for me to export this project. But with 17.4, I tried the H.265 master render, and you can see it took much less time, only 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So it definitely made use of hardware acceleration, which is fantastic. However, when I looked at the file sizes, you can see here that the H.264 file size is 2.6 gigabytes, and the H.265 file is 2.1 gigabytes. So I barely saved any storage space going with the H.265, which is kind of disappointing because one of the main reasons I want to use H.265 is for the space savings. Now, of course, the hardware encoding still did make the export much faster, and that is a bonus, I suppose. But the main thing I wanted was to have smaller file sizes. So then I looked into the settings, and instead of rendering out under the best quality for H.265, I tried exporting in the medium quality, and it also took about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to render. And you can see in terms of file size, it's much smaller, only about 650 megabytes. So there you go. DaVinci Resolve 17.4 does allow you to do hardware accelerated H.265 exports. But the thing is, if you are rendering using the best quality, which is the default for the H.265 master delivery method, you're not actually going to save a whole lot of space. You only notice the improved export time, but you won't have the smaller file sizes. In order to get smaller file sizes, you will have to decrease the quality. And I think medium is not a bad quality relative to the file size. I would say it's pretty comparable to the exports I was getting out of my iOS devices. The video files that I was generating using iOS devices for about 10-minute videos, they were generally about 600 some megabytes, I would say. So the medium settings is probably what your iOS devices are rendering by default. And me looking back at the image quality, I think it looks very good. I honestly couldn't tell a difference. In fact, one of the recent videos that I uploaded was in fact edited in DaVinci Resolve using H.265, and I'll let you guess as to which I uploaded, the best quality or the medium quality. And so that's it. I'll see you in the next one.